Good evening and welcome to the Job Search Solution, the radio program where we talk about looking for a job, changing jobs, changing careers, hiring. And as always, we begin with a prayer. Dear God, grant us thy peace and thy mercy, thy will be done. And in just a few minutes, as we do every Wednesday, Rich Savizzi is going to be with us talking about consultants in the workplace. He's got a great topic this evening, a really good one, and one that you'll want to stay tuned for. Doubt, uncertainty, and fear. Oh, yeah. We've been talking about it a lot. And there's one aspect of it that you need to know if you're seeking a job. And we're going to talk about that. Meanwhile, we've been spending 10 seconds in gratitude. So I'd like you to think about 3 things that you are grateful for today, that happened to you today, or that you are grateful for, because you can't be unhappy when you're grateful. Go. Try to be grateful in the morning, in the middle of the day, in the evening, being grateful. Doubt, uncertainty, and fear. Whenever you have an economy like we've got these days, especially with all of the political issues of tariffs and not knowing what's going to happen and all of that, it breeds doubt, uncertainty, and fear. We had that for most of last year. We've got that a lot going on this year. Companies are just careful about everything because they don't know what the future is going to be. Whether you liked it or not, in the last governmental regime we had, we could depend on it. We didn't like it maybe at all, but we knew what we were dealing with. In this one, we don't. So therefore, that breeds a lot of doubt, uncertainty, and fear, and that trickles down into a lot of things, and especially into hiring and into the way that companies run their business. And when they are not sure of what's going to happen in their business, they are not sure about what they're going to do in hiring. Expansion hiring doesn't take place as much as replacement hiring does. We're going to talk about that next week, a little more about the difference and how that affects you if you're looking for a job. But what we're going to speak about today is that if you are interviewing for a position, you have to know that the people that you are interviewing with are concerned about being scared about making a mistake, and they're afraid about everything. They're afraid about business. They're afraid about what's going on. They're afraid about everything. So they're naturally afraid about making a mistake in hiring. We've discussed this before in this program, but what I want to emphasize this evening is that you as a candidate need to be able to communicate that hiring you is not a risk, that there should be no doubt, uncertainty, and fear in hiring you. In hiring you, they are convinced that everything is going to be all right, that every place you've ever been, you've communicated confidence, you've settled storms, you've communicated calmness, you've made things right, you've done well, you've made things better, and there's no doubt that you're going to be an integral part of them being safe. That there's no doubt in hiring you that you're going to be good at what you do and you're going to make them better. And whatever function you have in the company, they're not going to have to worry about it being done well and it being done efficiently, and that they might have a lot of other things to worry about, but they're not going to have to worry about what you do. And the way you communicate that is pointing out times in your career where you have calmed doubt, uncertainty, and fear, where you've come in and changed the complexion of a difficult situation, where you've made a bad situation better. And you need to think about that because they're looking upon you as, when they're interviewing you, as a risk. They're looking upon you as, well, if we hire this guy or this gal, are they going to come in and be a risk? We've already got enough risks. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. And the last thing we need is to not know what's going on with them. So you have to be able to communicate a calmness, a steadiness, a certainty, a goodness, a quality that, look, there are lots of things you may have to worry about. But my job, you don't have to worry about that. I'm going to have that down. I'm going to deliver for you. I'm going to have everything taken care of for you. You don't have to worry about that. There's going to be no doubt, uncertainty, and fear when it comes to my performance or my job. If you do that, you're going to be one step ahead of your competition in getting the position, because they're looking for just as many reasons not to hire you as they are to hire you. And if you don't give them any good reasons not to hire you, you're one step ahead of the game. So remember that it's going through their head that they're scared, and you want to waylay their concern for you, and they're being scared of hiring you. That hiring you is the calmest thing that they could do. It gives common sense, and it gives a good attitude and a good approach to their business, and it makes them better. All right, we're going to take a short break. Stay tuned. This is Tony Bashir with the Job Search Solution.